morning.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Now, come on, Cobb, it's time for the only news that matters. In a new interview with Appetite for Distortion, Skid Row's guitarist SCOTTI Hill spoke about the band's search for a new Skid Row singer. Following the recent exit of Eric Grönwall, Eric, who was Skid Row's fourth frontman since Sebastian Bach's departure, was diagnosed with leukemia in March of 2021. As a result, he cannot go on the touring life. It's too difficult. SCOTTI said, "We're looking at some people. We're just inviting the whole world to throw their tapes on our desk. That's a little over the top." Asked if singers have reached out to him and his Skid Row bandmates about trying out for the group, or if they're actively seeking out potential vocalists, SCOTTI said, "Lots of people have reached out. I understand why, but I'm not the guy to get in touch with. I love Skid Row. Skid Row is my family. It's my life. But when I'm not in Skid Row, I'm in here at my home doing stuff. So I kind of keep my fingers out there the whole time, but a lot of people are getting in touch with us, and some of them are really good. Some of them are not really good. But with YouTube and Instagram and such, you can go out and find people quite easily. It wasn't like the old days where you had to put out ads in every music paper in the country and word of mouth and all that stuff, pre-internet. It's much easier now. As for whether there is a preference on whether it's a name singer or not, SCOTTI said, "No, it doesn't even have to be a guy. Look at Lizzie Hale, who played 4 shows with Skid Row in May and early June. I mean, she came and rocked it. It could be a woman." Hill also once again addressed some fans' calls for a reunion with Sebastian Bach. And he said, "Well, they're never going to stop asking about a reunion. But for me, I think I can speak for the other guys. It's just a simple quality of life issue. People are like, just put your differences aside and do it. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do it. There are no differences. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be in the room with somebody I don't like. We did great things in the past, but this is about way more than a band or music. Do it for the fans," they say. No. I'm not going to put my good life and well-being and peace, I'm not going to sacrifice that for the fans. That's not what I do. And anybody that calls themselves a fan wouldn't ask the band to put themselves through something they don't want to do. But people just want what they want. They just want what they want. They want that band back with that guy. They still want Bon Scott back in AC/DC. I mean, come on. All right, who the hell wants Bon Scott back in AC/DC? He's dead. You know, I don't hear anybody saying, bring Bon Scott back, because you can't. But anyway, pressed about whether this is a specific personality trait that made Skid Row's reunion with Bach impossible, Hill said, "I don't want to have food poisoning every day of the week. That's all. It's toxic. There's no specific thing. I mean, there's a lot of specific things, and there's a lot of specific things. And we've all been really tight-lipped about it. And maybe someday we'll just start talking about it. There's a lot to talk about. Let's put the focus on something else. If you don't like Skid Row without that singer, you don't have to listen. And on the flip side of that, if you love that singer, then go see him. We're talking about Sebastian Bach. Go see him. I'll tell you what. You know what I'll give him? is the guy puts it out there. And he puts it out there 100% rock and roll all the time. And so if you go see him, you're going to get a rock show. But I don't need that in my life. I'm not going to put myself through that. I just don't want to. All right, yeah. And Snake said it before, too. And Rachel. I mean, they all said it before, but they didn't go as far as SCOTTI did now. Yeah, they were all just like, no, we don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. And SCOTTI's like, I don't want to be in the same room with a guy I don't like. Yeah. See, I mean, this is something Skid Row should do already. I mean, come on. All Sebastian Bach does is like, you know, badmouth Skid Row. And then he doesn't badmouth them when he wants to get back in the band. Then when he sees he's not in the band, like now, he was trying to get back in the band being all nice. When he sees that Eric Gronwall is gone and they're looking for another singer, he's like, you know what? I'm going to bash them. You know? So that's who they want to stay away from. I get it. You know, and I know this is a story I've done many times over, but this is the first one where they actually said, one of them actually said, I don't like them, you know? And it goes deeper than that. And you know where when he says, you know, there's a lot to talk about, maybe one day we'll talk, but there's a lot to talk about. I believe it. I believe it. There should be a book or something to detail why they cannot be around Sebastian Bach. You know, and Sebastian Bach running around. They got 9 singers. They've had 9 singers, isn't that? Well, how many band members have you had since you left Skid Row? I bet you it's way more than 9. You know, I mean, that's why they don't want them back. People don't understand, and I get it. Look, every time I do one of these stories, there are many comments saying, no Sebastian Bach, no Skid Row. There are those fans. You know, they're just set on their ways, man. I don't care about Eric Gronwall. I don't care about how good he sings. It has to be Sebastian Bach. Doesn't matter if Sebastian Bach doesn't sing as good as Eric Gronwall does now. None of that matters. What matters is I want Sebastian Bach back. And a lot of these fans that want Sebastian Bach back, I'm telling you, a big portion of them will not go see Skid Row with Sebastian Bach. Some will. I'm not saying some won't. But a majority of them, I guarantee, wouldn't go see them with Sebastian Bach. These are these guys that never go to shows online, always writing about, oh, I won't support this band if they don't get Sebastian Bach back. You won't support them if they get them back either. Get the fuck out of here. I see right through you. Anyway, I was happy with Eric Gronwald. I was very happy with that last album. I was lucky enough to see him twice. And he was way better than Sebastian. And I saw Sebastian way back on Slave to the Grind. He was better than Sebastian Bach was on Slave to the Grind. I'm not bashing Sebastian. Bashing Sebastian. Hey, that's a good song title. Bashing Sebastian. Like when Skid Row finally decides to talk about it, they should like put a video on YouTube and call it Bashing Sebastian. You know how many millions of views that would get? That would be amazing if they did that. But anyway, I'm not bashing Sebastian Bach, man. It's that I love his voice. I thought he was great on those 3 Skid Row albums. Man, some Human Race rules. And I love his solo album, Angel Down. I love some, there's a couple songs I like off that last album. Not all of it, but he's a great singer, and he's still got a good voice. You know, it's not as strong as it was when he was younger, but it's still enough. I saw him do the whole Slave to the Grind album like a couple years ago, and you know, he did a fair job. He didn't hit those notes like Eric hit on Living in a Chain Gang. He can't do that anymore. Where Eric can do it easily, and Eric is like, I think like 9 years older than how old Sebastian Bach was back in 91 and Slave to the Grind days. But that's besides the point. My point is that I just want to say that finally somebody in Skid Row speaks up and says, you know, we all knew they don't like him, but we never heard somebody say it. SCOTTI finally said it. So there you go. What do y'all think? Leave it in the comments below. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell. And like the video, because it's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and smack 'em a gaba.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.